All systems ready.
Hey everybody, this is the Master Rules Lawyer coming at you here on July 10th, 2024, looking at a market watch, a particular market watch that I want to do, focused on cards that we want to either be selling as soon as possible or we want to be picking up. First card that I just want to really go into while we're looking at things is Promethean Princess. As you all likely know, we had the quarter century bonanza that was announced, I guess not yesterday, the day before yesterday, and we had Promethean Princess announced as a quarter century reprint, in that there's been some speculation as to whether or not that means that we're getting a reprint of it in the tins as well. What's going to happen there? If it's going to get skipped in the tins. Either way, I think it's still going to be in the tins without a big pool that you're looking at, and it's not unusual for Konami to reprint big cards in a tight window like that once, especially once they start to fade out of use, or I guess where most people already have them anyway. But I mean, a good example would be Diviner of the Herald, who recently got had been seeing some pretty heavy use in decks within the last year, and it started to kind of wane in popularity a little bit, but Konami wanted to cash in on that, and so we got two reprints like back to back. So I would not be surprised if Promethean Princess does that. So on to the reason why I'm bringing this up is, so I've seen a couple YouTubers like Cool40 have touched on stating that, this has already gone down. It was about 20 before. No, it hasn't gone down since this announcement. This set that they've announced it for isn't until November. It's not affecting the price at all. It was not 20 before this announcement. It was right around 16, 17, which is what it's sitting at right now. As you can see, you've got recent sales even almost up to 20. So, I mean, now is probably the time to get rid of this if you do not need it. Of course, like I said, I mean, the only guaranteed reprint is not till November, but still there's a decent chance it could be in the tins, and if you're not using it, try to get some equity out of this, because if it is reprinted in the tins, you're probably going to get a rarity upgrade, and you're definitely getting a rarity upgrade in the quarter century version in November. Try to get some equity out of this if you don't need it. Then I want to look at Trident Dragon. We already know that this card is pretty much a necessary one of in Tenpai, but it's initially, of course, it was extremely expensive, floating around 100, and that's, I think the secret version I'm looking here was actually the lower of the two, but still floating around $50 for this version. I'm going to pull up the other, but just to show that this does still have some value. Of course, as soon as it gets reprinted in the tins, that value is probably going to tank significantly. So I definitely recommend offloading your Trident Dragons while you still have a chance. Then from there, the biggest card I really want to bring to everyone's attention here is CR for Rescue Ace Turbulence. Why is that? Because, I mean, it's sitting around $16, $17. That is cheap, guys. If you look at let's go look at the year graph here. We look at a year ago, this was a $70 card. And so what happened? Well, Rescue Ace kind of fell off in popularity. But I want you to look a little bit ahead, use a little bit of forward thinking and look at what's happening in the OCG. Rescue Ace Fiendsmith is one of the biggest decks over there. Rescue Ace and Fiendsmith really mesh well together, and if the OCG is any indication, Rescue Ace is probably going to take off again. Hydrant is still decent price, but Turbulence for the CR, I really want to bring people's attention to that, because if Rescue Ace Fiendsmith takes off like it is in the OCG over here, really good chance that this is going to spike up big time. Right now you can get it for $16-17. I think it would not be unreasonable for this to go $50 plus if the deck becomes really popular again. I'm not a financial investor or anything. I can't predict the future, obviously. I could be wrong here, but I think this is a really good bet, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is because I bought a playset of these. So if I'm wrong, I'm also hurting, but I think that this is a good one to invest in for a short-term turnaround. Next, Phantom of Yugioh. This is a definite pickup. It's gone nothing but go down since it's been released, but we have the Infinite Forbidden sneak peek coming this coming weekend. Fiendsmith is going to come out. Yugioh is one of the best utilizers of the Fiendsmith engine. So even if we don't get a ban list coming up soon, I think Yugioh is going to be a really strong contender for top deck while it can use the Fiendsmith engine. If we do get a ban list and Snake Eyes does take a real hit, this is going to the moon, because everybody is going to be playing Yugioh, short of, depending on how strong of a hit Snake Eyes gets. If it's still usable like it is in the OCG, you're still going to see a lot of Snake Eyes Fiendsmith, but right behind that is going to be Yugioh Fiendsmith and possibly Rescue Ace Fiendsmith. But Yugioh, it's a very splashable engine to a lot of decks, but even its own deck, this is an amazing card. This is the cheapest you're going to get it at around $50, I think. And if you think there's any chance you're going to want to run this engine, this is an amazing card. Pick it up now and be glad you did. And this also is going to apply to the next card we're going to look at, Nightmare Thrones. This card's been kind of dancing around a little bit. It's been let's see, lowest is, that's no sales from that seller. Let's see, lowest verified around $35. It's been going around anywhere from, I think it was up to 45 at one point, almost 50 here for a very brief period when Phantom Yugioh actually came out. The fact that it hasn't really shot up just because of Phantom Yugioh's release is not an indication that this card is going to go down or even stay the price that it is. As I said, very likely that Yugioh is going to become, if not just a splashable engine, a top tier deck that is going to be used a lot with the Fiendsmith engine. Nightmare Throne is going to be a necessity for that deck. You're going to need 3 of it. I can say with almost certainty that this $35 price point is the lowest you're going to get it anytime soon. It's going to be a $50 plus card in my opinion. So grab those now. And what else are we looking at here? Barudris. And while we're on the subject of Yugioh, this is a rank 10 Omni Negate, and it also destroys a card when it does its Omni Negate thing, and it's just super good, super good. You know, every deck would be running this if it wasn't rank 10, where it was a little bit hard to pull out. And I've been on Verudris, I know, since it came out, and I've been saying this whole time people are sleeping on it. So maybe I'm a broken writer at this point. It's only $13. As soon as UL takes off, and I wholeheartedly believe it will, Verudris is going to take off too. And this is a card that is going to continue to find applications as more decks are able to utilize rank 10s as in future formats or what have you. Have your Verudrises ready. At least I would recommend having at least one to play, maybe a playset to sell. I think this is going to be $20 plus card easily in the future. And yes, I'm still on Diabells, and yes, it has just continued to go down the more I've talked about it. I've been talking about it from the beginning about how people are sleeping on it. It's only about $8.50 right now. And I'm going to double down on Diabells. I've had people argue with me, say, "Hey, oh no, it's not really an anti-spell because while it makes you set it, you can still activate the card. So if it's not a quick play or a trap, you can still activate it." Okay, so we're ignoring the fact that quick plays are some of the best cards in the game. We're drawing this shuts down drop. This shuts down Runic in its entirety. Anybody wants to play Runic Stun against you, they're going to have a bad day. You pull this out. And there's been some new fusions and other Central Spoils related lore cards announced in the OCG that are going to be able to make really good use of this in the deck. It might end up just being a one-of. It depends on exactly what all gets hit in the ban list. Is Wanted still going to be at 3? Who knows? But if there's a Sinful Spoils card in either player's graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's a free extender. It's got a great ability, and it also has a destruction effect. It can get rid of some of your opponent's problematic back row. This card is much better than people are really giving it credit for. So I'm going to keep on the Diabells train, and I might die on this hill. But this is a card that I fully think that people are going to end up at some point. It's just going to take one really good player to highlight the card in the deck for this card to shoot up. Now, Fable Glory. If you've been watching any market watches, you know about Fable Glory. Right now, the one I'd be looking at that is somewhat reasonable is the super rare and Human Arsenal 2. Again, Fiendsmith engine about to come out. This is a necessary, I believe it's just a one-up, but it is a necessary one-up in the Fiendsmith engine. It's in around $14. As soon as people start playing that engine, it's going to go up more, guys, unless it gets a reprint. And I don't know where Konami would give it a reprint. Maybe they stick a weird reprint in the tins. I doubt it. But yeah, if you want to play the Fiendsmith engine, you're going to need this. And even the common is, I think, like $6-7. Might as well go ahead and get you a shiny version for around 14 before it blows up. And now let's move on to the cards that I would be offloading. Now, obviously, the most recent sales of 107 for this SP. That's probably somebody watering money. But right now, SP is sitting around 90. And this is a tough one because it's a must-have in any deck. So if you're really playing Yu-Gi-Oh on any level, it's hard to part with this right now. But if you are in a position where you don't need the card, it's probably a good time to get rid of your SP. Yeah, it's not as high as it was. It's probably up about $20. So you kind of missed the boat on getting your max value out of your SP, but it's still a good price. And yeah, I mean, if it's worth it to you, I mean, yeah, and again, I don't know how much this is actually going to drop when it drops in the tins, because this is that 400 card set. So even if it is in the tins, which it almost assuredly is, it's not going to be easy to get. But the fact that there is another print available, it's going to drop some. I would estimate it's still going to probably sit around a $50 card, if I'm guessing, maybe more. I mean, Thrust has managed to hold on pretty high price tag with multiple reprints, and Chaos Angel as well. So, yeah, it might not see that significant a drop off, so maybe it's worth holding on to. But if you're someone who you're not playing and you're just like it's just sitting in your binder or something, I'd probably go ahead and get rid of it so you're getting your maximum value out of the card. But if you need it, of course, it might just be worth holding on to. I'm holding on to mine, guys. Full disclosure, just because I need it, but I'm playing it, and my deck absolutely needs it to function. So, and we're looking at Guiding Quem. Still sitting around $50, even though it is up for a reprint in the tins. It's a great card. Still kicking myself from selling mine about 20 right before it kicked off in price in the fall. But I do think this card is finally going to cool down. You're probably going to be looking at it on a $15 card if what happened with Fenrir is any indication. So yeah, that's what I imagine they're probably going to be looking at a $15 card. Don't lose all that value, guys. If you got one of these and you're not needing it for the World Championship qualifier or something along those lines coming up, I would offload this and plan to pick it back up with the cheaper Prismatic Secret Rare copy that it's most likely going to get, or just rebuy it in the same version once price tags. And Bonfire. Oh, Bonfire. Man, look at this card 6 months ago. Over $120. Now we are looking at around $35 for this. If you got Bonfires, I'd offload Bonfires. If you don't absolutely need this, offload your Bonfires because yes, it's already lost a ton of value. How much more can it lose? Well, it's an ultra rare. It's probably going to get a rarity upgrade. Not surprised if it's in the tins. If it's not in the tins, probably going to be in the quarter century Banana Palooza, whatever it is, Bonanza thing. If you don't need this, try to get some equity out of your Bonfire and offload these. And Dia Bellstar, another card that was announced for a quarter century reprint. Same kind of deal with what I said earlier. It might end up skipping the tins and getting just that quarter century reprint. I imagine it is going to be in the tins right now. It's in about a $25 card. A lot of people still need it going into the World Championship qualifier season. But if you are not actively using this card, it's guaranteed to get a reprint coming up within the next 5 months, possibly as soon as September with a Prismatic Secret Rare in the tins. Its equity is only going to go down, so if you're not using these, might as well offload it. And Thrust, another card that is likely coming up for a reprint in the tins and maybe also in the quarter century Bonanza Palooza, sitting around $45 lowest, and this is for let's see, around 43. There's a low for what you saw. This is the secret rare version. This is kind of your it's not your highest rarity with the ultimates, but I think this kind of want to cover just thrust in general. Maybe if you really like the look of the ultimates, I don't think the ultimate thrust looks that amazing, but a lot of people like their ultimate rares from the brain fart, from the packs. You know what I'm talking about. Now, I mean, if it gets reprinted in the quarter century set in November, you might get an ultimate rare, but nobody likes those ultimate rares as much, so maybe that's worth holding on to. If it's just what you like. Either way, these cards are going to be going down in value in the near future, and I think, again, this is probably going to be around a $15 card. I think that's probably a safe bet after the reprint. So keep that in mind. Thrust is still a great card. Still getting slotted into a lot of decks, but it's already got 3 reprints. It's going to get more. It's about time that's what's going to happen. What happened with Talents? It got some reprints. It didn't dive down too hard, but when it finally got I think it was in since when it got printed as an ultra rare, it finally really got pushed down. Maybe does that sound right? But yeah, I think if you're not using the thrusts, good time to offload. Chaos Angel, same deal, and it looks like it's just been on a steep decline here. Yes, Chaos Angel is all the way down to $35. That's an all-time low for Chaos Angel. People are realizing that this is up for reprint, and possibly in both the upcoming sets, at least in the 10s. So it's lost value. Of course, you missed your train as far as getting the max value of selling this, but it's not going to go back up to that if you're not using your Chaos Angel and you can afford to get rid of it. This is going to be probably around, I would not be surprised, $10, $12 card after the 10s drop. Maybe still around 15. We'll see what it ends up doing, but I would not be surprised if we see a significant price drop. Now, again, same thing I said about multi-thrusts. If you really like those ultimates in, I keep wanting to say turbo packs, but Anyway, it's closest thing my brain's gonna come up with at this time for some reason. But yeah, Chaos Angel, get rid of them if you will. It is getting to the point with Chaos Angel that its price is going down low enough. Maybe it's just worth holding on to if you like that specific rarity, but consider offloading those. And for sure, get rid of your Dispatters, because it also has just been doing nothing but dropping. It's creating some equity around the $24 mark. It is going to go down when when it gets a rarity upgrade in the 10s. A lot of people are going to want that rarity upgrade, the prismatic secret rare. I imagine this is going to be about a $10 card after the reprint. When I say all this, I hope you all assume, and I mean assuming no short prints. So let's keep that in mind. Same thing for Super Starflare or Typhon. And this card, it's a shame. Like, so many decks, every deck should run this if they can, but so few can. Just extra X space is just so tight, and it's dropped It was sitting around $30, a little bit north of that. It's dropped about $10 recently, just in the last month or so. But yeah, it's likely going to get an upgrade, a rarity upgrade in the tins. I definitely recommend getting ready for Star Slayer if you are not playing it. Albion, even more so. It's likely going to get a reprint in the tins, and I think that's the reason why Konami has held off on a ban list. I think they're waiting until after the tins so they can include Albion in there, and then after that, I think they're going to wait a few weeks, maybe a month. I would not be surprised. End of September. I wouldn't be surprised if they leave us hanging on a ban list until then, despite how much we need it, and so they can milk Albion one more time with a prismatic secret rare. But even if we get a ban list sooner, I expect that this is going to be on. I expect it's going to get banned to stop the gimmick lock. Well, try. There's other ways to gimmick puppet lock people, and I think I don't think this is going to be enough of a hit, but I do think it's going to get hit either way, and yeah, of course, once it's banned, this is going to be maybe a $5. So keep that in mind. And last card I want to look at is Mseti. Just like any of the other cards that are up for reprints, it's just going down, down, down. It was sitting around 45 to 50. It's gone down to 35. Oh, that's English. Okay, English, yeah, still around 35. Yeah, if you want to get some equity out of this before they reprint it as a prismatic secret rare in the tins, of course that's not official. It's never been officially announced as such, but it is very likely that it's going to be in there. Offload your Msetis while you can. As far as the secret rare goes, anyway. I'm not talking about quarter centuries. Quarter centuries is a different story. But yeah, get rid of your Msetis. But yeah, love to hear if you guys have any disagreements. You think I'm wrong about any of this stuff, or if you just have any other comments, I'd love to hear from you. Please drop a like and a subscribe. And yeah, guys, you guys have a good one, and take care of yourselves out there. Take care of your mental health. Make sure that you are not just you're not giving in to all this hatefulness that's out there, guys. It's this world is getting more and more toxic every day, it feels like. So if you can get lost in this hobby and it can take your mind off that, great. Do what you got to do to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, guys. And do right by your neighbor. Treat people good. They'll hopefully do the same to you. And that's my totally off-topic little rant there. So yeah, you guys all have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.